We are now at the MG exhibit at the Auto Expo. You can see that's the image of the Hector. That's because they have revealed the pricing for the Hector facelift. So the walk around of the Hector facelift is already out on OD Mag. Do check it out if you are interested in the new Hector. The pricing is in the zone of 14.72 lakh to 22.42 lakh for the top end variant. But we are not here to talk about the Hector. We are here to talk about the MG4 hatchback. It's already attracting a lot of crowd here at the MG exhibit, and I'm going to attempt to walk in through all of that and give you a closer look. So that is the face of the car. It's a rather good looking model. It debuted in 2022, and now we are told that MG is considering this model for India. So this is the MG4 hatchback. I'm going to go over to the other side and try and give you a slightly wider look at the vehicle so you get an idea of what it is like. And since we already have someone sitting here, let me quickly just show you what the legroom is like, what the headroom is like. Does it look comfortable in there? Not bad. Right, so this is a hatchback, and what you will like about this vehicle is how low it is. So MG and their parents SAIC, they have a battery technology which they call the Rubik's Cube battery pack, right? So it's a very thin battery pack. I think for the lowest capacity battery, the tallest height that they have managed for the lowest capacity battery is about 11 centimeters for the battery stack. So it's a really thin battery pack. That's the point. Because of that, the designers are able to make this a really low car. It's got a center of gravity of 490 millimeters. So you can understand what I'm trying to tell you. It's a low car and it's pretty powerful too. I will come to those figures in a bit. Let me show you the tail end. I think the tail end is the prettiest angle for the car. The front end looks good too, but I really like how this spoiler comes out and the way the tail lights are designed. It all looks quite nice to me. Of course, no tailpipes. It is an all-electric. So like I said, it debuted in 2022. It has two options. One is a single motor setup, and that's a rear-wheel driven car, and that puts out somewhere around 200 PS of power if I'm not wrong. And then there is the all-wheel drive as well, which will put out 449 PS and go from 0 to 100 in under 4 seconds. That's quick. And with such a low car, that low center of gravity, it should handle really well. Right, so sorry, just passing through. Yeah, so the battery pack is for the higher end variants is a 64 kilowatt hour, and like I said, the power outputs, depending on the motor configuration, a dual motor or a single motor, can be anywhere between 200 to 449 PS. A lot of crowd around the car. Anyway, so I'm now going to attempt to get in. Yeah, so that is the cabin for you. You can see there are two screens. One is a tiny infotainment right behind the steering wheel, instrumentation, sorry, and then you have the infotainment right here. The layout of the infotainment, very similar to what we've seen on the Gloster. And then you have that big wireless charging pad there, a rotary knob for the drive selector, and then charging ports down at the bottom, and another charging port right here. And that's for your gadgets, of course. As far as the car goes, there are 5 charging options for this, which includes the portable charger. It also includes the AC, DC charging options. So yes, there are multiple charging options available for the car. And because of that battery pack that I'm talking about, it's also, this car is also based on the scalable electronic platform from SAIC. I may be getting the term wrong, but it's a new electronic platform. It's a modular platform for EVs from SAIC, and the charging times for that battery pack are actually quite fast, because it's capable of charging at 800 volts, and if that's the option that you choose, you can get, with 5 minutes of charging, 200 kilometers of driving range. 200 kilometers, right? So that's phenomenal. And then Up to 80% of the charge can be 0 to 80% of charging can happen in a mere 15 minutes. Double that for the battery pack that only supports the 400 volt charging. That's the lower end of the MG4, and you are looking at a 100-kilometer range in 5 minutes, or a 0 to 80% charging time of about half an hour. So that's the MG4, and they are gauging the response of this car for the Indian market. But I have a very strong feeling that they're already convinced that they want to bring this car to India, because out in Europe it is already quite successful. Of course, I'm worried about that low ground clearance. I'm worried about how low this car is, but this is something that MG is likely to consider for the Indian market. And that's also because while I understand that premium hatchbacks have a very limited market, so to say, this still has a lot of potential for India, is what I think, with the kind of figures that it has. We've already seen the Kia EV6 get off to a brilliant start, and I think the MG4 could become a very good addition to the MG portfolio for the Indian audience as well. Let me know, what do you think? What are your thoughts about this vehicle? And if you have any questions, do put them in the comments below, and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching.